Hello and welcome to the Counterattack playthrough series. We're playing OCS Burma. The scenario is Black Cats versus White Tigers. It's March 22nd, 1944. This is turn 3. We'll go ahead and figure out what the weather is. Rolling 2 dice. Rolled a 61. That can't be good. 61 is light rain. The current ground state is mud. Mud with a light rain yields more mud. And then light rain, we have a 50% chance of unrestricted air ops. I rolled a 6, restricted again. So, yep, mud, restricted, light rain. Okay, and we'll see who's going to go first. Got a 7, guess for the Allies. It's the Japanese. Got an 8. Japanese go first, or get to choose who go first. And I think they will choose to go first. So the Japanese process the aircraft refit phase. Of course, they don't have any aircraft, so there's nothing to do there. They then process the reinforcement phase. No reinforcements, but they do get 2 more T in Kalewa. And now for the mode determination and movement. So at the moment, they're going for the draw, at least try to get the draw. It could only go Japanese favor from this point on. If the Allies lose 1 more unit, it'll be a draw. If they lose another unit, the Japanese will win. So, Japanese are very low on ammo. I think they might want to do 1 more attempt at moving their artillery up and bombarding to try to get some kills. Maybe get a DG and have their weak ground units attack. Just try to get 1 or 2 kills there. So I think we want to flip these artillery back to their combat side. Oof. Actually, they're all 1s. That's unfortunate. I was thinking they'd have more movement. Okay, so they're going to stay in movement. So I guess these artillery are doomed to always be making weak bombardments. But they're ground units, they can get into combat mode here. This guy's in combat. I'll go ahead and move up here. This guy, switch over to combat. Move up. In mud. Costs 1 movement point on this fair weather road. Flip to combat, move up. Try to get a big stack there. You know, there's 3 units stacked there, and I seem to recall some special rule for the Japanese about bonsai attacks. Let me check that out. It is possible to do bonsai attacks, but you need 3 Japanese battalions from the same regiment stacked to do that, and it gives you a little bonus if you get surprise. This engineer is from the 33rd Division. It's called the 33rd Engineers, 4th Engineers, and then this is the 1st Battalion of the 215th Regiment of the 33rd Division. So they are not all from the same regiment. Okay, so let's continue with mode determination and movement. This guy's going to... Let's see, he has movement factor of 3. He can go 1, 2, 3. That's unsatisfying. I think I just want to pile them all over here. Aircraft are still restricted, so that's good. So he's staying in move mode. Maybe this guy here. Oh, by the way, I did see when I was looking up the bonsai charge rules, there's also some negative impact for attacking with more than 6 units or more of the Japanese. They're not good at large scale attacks, so I want to be careful I don't get too many guys into a single attack. I think this guy is going to scooch here using all of his movement. Try to get good attack here. Let's see here. I might be moving all these guys up and there's not going to be any supply capabilities here. Let's go, well, let's take care of this guy that's way out here. In mud, tracks for leg movement are 2 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Slight chance he'll actually do something this game. What else we have? Well, I know the headquarters was able to trace back to here. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So perfect trace. So if the headquarters moves forward, it'll not be able to draw from there. So let's see if what it can throw. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's while it's in its, 4. So it can get to here while it's in its move mode. You can actually throw it to 6 while in combat mode, but you know, that's as far as it needs to throw, I believe. This guy here is out of its range, but that's okay. So I think we'll keep the headquarters where it is, and then we're going to fuel these guys up. There's 4 artillery fueling up their trucks. We will go ahead and have the headquarters draw from Yazagyo. Sorry if I destroy pronunciation. So an entire supply point burns to fuel those guys. This is going to be very tight. Okay. And now they're going to move up. While in move mode, their range is 1, so I'm just going to stack them all here. And I could stack this up to 20 battalions tall, is my understanding, so I guess I'm not going to worry about that big stack. Okay. This guy, I don't know, so useless. I'll at least get it onto the road over here. Okay, now what? Got these mules here. They're loaded with supply. But this mud is really inhibiting them getting the supply to where it needs to go. I guess I'll just have them move up the track. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hopefully the ground will dry out on next turn. Okay, the truck. Does it need to do anything? I guess it never hurts to move supply forward, because that'll allow on another turn for stuff to move. So maybe it'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to pick up a T. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, I think it'll drop it there. That costs another 5, so 25. 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38. Another 5 to pick it up. That's 43, 44, 45. Trucks aren't so hot in mud. Okay. I think I've moved everyone except for this mule here. Maybe I'll move it back to this stockpile I just dumped off. Now what you cannot do is use a unit to move supply, drop it off, and then have another unit pick it up. So it'll be ready for next turn to move it if it needs to. Okay, I think we are all good with the movement phase and ready for the supply checks phase. So for supply check, we've already established this guy is in range of Kalewa, the Japanese supply source, and we know it can throw 4 movement points out. And movement points when you're throwing and tracing don't take into account weather. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So those guys can be thrown to no problem. So all of these are in supply. I guess this guy doesn't count, but this gigantic stack and this unit. And we have a few units though that are not in supply. So I guess this guy's going to attempt to forage. So I go roll on the attrition table. Go dig that up. I roll 2 dice. Its action rating's 5, so that's good. I rolled a 6. 6 is no loss on that table, which means it's successfully foraged and is not out of supply. I'm going to do the same thing for this unit over here. Rolled an 8. Its action rating's 5, same thing. So those, if it was an action rating 4, it would have taken a step loss, which would have marked it out of supply. So that's good. So that's a high quality unit. Okay, that was the supply phase. Now for the Allied reaction, they have no aircraft available because of the rain. They have no units in reserve, so there is no reaction. So then we move to the Japanese combat phase, and it starts with a barrage. So I think I have enough supply to do one last barrage. So this is going to be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 is going to cost 2T. Where can I draw it from? I'm going to draw 1T from Yang Sao. And then the other T we'll draw from right here. That is the last bit of Japanese supply on the map. Okay. So here comes the bombardment. Rolling on the 8 to 11 column. I need at least a 7 to get something, but then it's going to shift. So I probably need a 9 or 10. Low odds attack, I got a 5. Waste. Okay, yeah, these guys are not worth it. So lesson learned, don't use these guys unless they luck out and are in combat mode and in range. So just let them hide under here. No more barrages, so we'll go into combat proper. Well, all these guys are going to attack. There's 4 ground units here, 1 here, so we don't take the penalty. Let me just double check. I don't have like a full regiment because it might be nice. No. I was looking to see if I have the 3 battalions from the 215th Regiment, but no, I have a 213th, 215th, and 214th mixed units here. Okay, so all these guys are attacking. They do have to pay 1T per unit. So that means they're going to use internal stocks for the attack. So this guy's going to be marked low. And the entire stack of ground units will be marked low. They're using all their internals. Okay, the defender has to choose if it's going to spend 2T to defend for the overall attack. If they only had like a regiment or less, they would only have to pay 1T, but they have to pay 2T. So let's see, can they draw supply? Oh, there's 2T right there. So they'll go ahead and draw that right off the mules. Okay, then the attacker picks the lead unit for the attack. So I want to use a 5. We'll go ahead and use this guy here. So this engineer is leading the attack. And then the defender, it's got 2 4-level action ratings. It'll pick this guy as the defender. So the Japanese have a 1-point action rating advantage. The defender then picks the terrain choices for the attacker and defender. It's all, well, the attacker is attacking in mountains. There's no choice there. The defender, though, let's see, there's this little like town in the mountains. Let me look that up. You know, it might just be for flavor because, oh wait, here it is, village. Village uses other terrain. So it is mountain, oh, for movement. But it is of type close terrain if you're fighting in the village. So the defender can choose to defend in the village or defend outside the village in the mountains. So it'd be better to defend in the mountains, which is very close. It would be extremely close if there wasn't a road here, but since there's a road, it's very close. Okay, so we got very close terrain. And what am I talking about? Because this is the target. So it's just very close terrain. Okay, so this guy's coming here, these guys going here. Then, let's see, what do we do next? We roll for surprise. The Japanese add 1. They have a 5. That would have been really bad because the defender would have had surprise, but we get +1 for our action rating advantage. That takes it up over the threshold to be no surprise for anybody. So then we're going to roll for our attack. Let's see, we need to compute odds. This is probably going to be devastating to the Japanese. So 2, 4, 6, 7 against 8. 7 to 8. We'll go ahead and check out the combat results table here. So we're very close. 7 to 8 is going to pass for, it's just under 1 to 1, so it's going to be 1 to 2. This is not looking good on the results here. So 1 to 2, we get a +1 to our die roll. Made a good roll. Got a 7. +1 is 8. Yeah, that's pretty bad. Attacker has a mandatory loss and then an option. Defender just an option. Now, while I was moving the camera stand over, a giant path of destruction just went through here, so let me fix this. Okay, destruction fixed. Okay, the attacker has to take 1 mandatory loss, and your first loss must come from your lead unit, so this guy's dead. And then the attacker takes their option. They can take another loss or retreat. They're going to take another loss. This guy's dead. I think the allies just clinched it here. Now the defender has to take an option. This is interesting though. Okay, maybe not so bad. They have to take a loss or retreat 1 hex. And when they retreat 1 hex, the entire stack has to go. Now the retreat rules say that if you enter a zone of control, you become disorganized, and the units you move into become disorganized as well. If, let's see, hold on. If, actually they're not disorganized right now. So if they retreat into an enemy zone of control, yeah, they become disorganized. And I believe the units they move into will become disorganized too. I think they're just going to risk it though and retreat and become disorganized so that they don't give up the win. I do want to double check to make sure what happens when they move in here and become disorganized. Do the units that they move into also become disorganized? Yeah. The entire location becomes disorganized. I guess it's just the chaos of the retreat. Okay. Well, that's not so great because at the end of the Allied turn, that GG is going to come off. Might as well just advance after combat though. Okay. I think that is it for the Japanese combat phase. Then we go into the exploitation phase. Well, there's no reserves. So we then go to cleanup. There are no DG markers for the Japanese, so that is the Japanese turn. Okay, now for the Allied turn. Aircraft refit phase. Their aircraft are all fitted. They just can't fly. Reinforcement phase. They get 2 supply tokens. If I remember right, there's a bunch of supply here. So let's make some change here. So we got 6 supply tokens. I'll convert that to a 5, or their supply points, I should say, not tokens. A 5 and a 1. Okay. Then the mode determination and movement phase. Well, the Allies just need to hang on here. I think they want this guy to move into bombardment range. In fact, it's in bombardment range. 1, 2, 3. Its range is 3. Okay, that's good. What do we have down here? Some armor. I feel like they just want to delay as much as they can. Okay, so me moving these guys here was a mistake. So we're gonna do a minimum move. Just pull them back. They're in extremely close terrain by doing that. They're also likely to run out of supply. Now these guys, their movement points are halved. That's okay, they're just gonna scooch back. And then, by doing that though, hold on. By doing that, they cannot spot their artillery. So maybe this guy's gonna, well, I was gonna have this guy stay behind and go into reserve mode, but you can't enter reserve mode when you're in enemy zone of control. So, maybe the artillery itself will enter reserve mode and it can be used in a reaction phase. And you know, we'll have that tank be in reserve as well. Okay, let me get the mule out of here. There's a mule down here. Mule's gonna just move some supplies forward. So it's here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pick up a T6. Oh, I thought this was a T-sized mule, and I flipped it over to its full side, but nope, it's a point-sized mule. So we'll go ahead and do this. Okay. Up here we have Japanese coming down here. I guess we'll just let the 37th deal with them. And we have this guy. Still hasn't decided if it wants to come to the battle. 1, 2, 3, 4. Someday it will actually get into the playing area. Okay. They're done with movement. Let's do some supply checking. These guys can all trace. That guy traces direct 1 hex. These guys are here. 1, 2, 3. Oh, ooh. Yeah, these guys are out of supply. Can't believe I did that. Yeah, it's not good. Looking for an out of supply marker. Just a moment. Yeah, these guys are out of supply. And they have to check for attrition. So, you know, I've been rolling on the attrition table in the Japanese forge, but it's just like seems to me like a little reuse of that table for forage, but its real reason is for this, to see if the unit out of supply attrits. So we'll do the top unit first here. The first WY. Not sure what that is. Okay, they rolled a 6. Their action rating's a 3. A 6 is 1 step loss. Die roll modifier is +3 if 5 steps or more are in the hex. Okay, well, that's a bad die roll modifier. Okay, so this guy destroyed. Oh, I can't believe I did that. The next guy rolled a 7. His action rating is 4, no loss. Well, I ruined the allies' chances to win. Now they, at best, are going to get a draw. Okay, that is the supply phase. Now for the Japanese reaction. Well, there is no reaction because they have not used their reserve markers. Allied combat, they are not adjacent to any Japanese units. Exploitation, they could use this artillery here, but I think they're just going to keep it in reserve, waiting for the Japanese to come in closer. And cleanup. This stack is back to good. Alright, this is almost over. Perhaps on the next turn, perhaps the following turn, we'll see. Catch you again.